One of my most anticipated films of the year coming up is, of course, Project Hail Mary. I have been dying to watch this ever since they showed us the first things I've ever saw of it. Before I read the books or anything like that, the book, they gave us a presentation for it at CinemaCon and my jaw dropped in my lap. I couldn't believe how incredible this damn thing looked. And I've been counting down the days ever since CinemaCon last year to get to this thing. And now going to go see it on the 13th. Really excited about it. Now, the other day, we discussed on the show about how Josh Gad saw it, and he called it a masterpiece and all that kind of stuff. And he's not in the film, just so you know. And a friend of mine, a producer in the business, saw it and was like, John, this movie's everything you wanted it to be. So that was really exciting. Well, now all the critics are actually chiming in. The first press screenings for Project Hail Mary have happened, and the critics are now chiming in, and it's basically universally accepted. This is going to be a Best Picture contender. People seem to love it. This comes to us, from Clayton Davis, who writes, Phil Lord and Chris Miller's Project Hail Mary is the iconic duo's finest hour. It's their E.T. the Extraterrestrial, a family-friendly, high-concept crowd pleaser with real blockbuster upside. Ryan Gosling and Sandra Hüller are standouts of the, by the way, she's key to this movie, man.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be absolutely key. Are out of this world, owning every frame, adored. Drew Taylor, many of you know, wrote, Project Hail Mary is profound and profoundly moving. An absolute masterpiece of hope and humanity. It's also insanely entertaining, funny, thrilling, surprising, and hopeful. As cheesy as it is to say, we need this movie right now. Well, we do, and I'm so thankful it's here. My buddy Todd Gilchrist writes, Project Hail Mary is pretty fantastic. Smart without being didactic, cute without being cloying, inspiring without stooping to empty platitudes. Daniel Pemberton's score is an all-timer, dispositionally an anti-Interstellar, inviting the audience to enjoy the ride. Mama's Geeky wrote, Project Hail Mary is phenomenal. This movie is a masterpiece. It is way funnier than I expected it to be. It never feels its runtime, and it is truly heartwarming. I laughed, I cried, and I fell in love with Rocky. Everybody's going to fall in love with Rocky. Ryan Gosling is one of the best working today. Wow. Junior Felix wrote, Lord and Miller have created a masterpiece with Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling gives a career-defining performance that will go down in history. Fans of the book should be ecstatic. Watch in IMAX to experience some of the most stunning outer space sequences ever. Incredible. Our friend Jermaine Lucier writes, Project Hail Mary is pure joy, hilarious, heartfelt, hugely moving, wildly exciting, and absolutely beautiful. The 160-minutes go by in an instant as Lord and Miller keep Weir's narrative moving like a rocket ship. Gosling is better than ever, and the Rocky effect, and it probably meant is, mind-blowing. Scott Menzel decided to write an essay. He liked it. We'll just leave it at that. Edgar Wright, one of our favorite directors, went to go see it. He said, I was lucky enough to see Project Hail Mary on a towering IMAX screen last night, a long overdue big screen, live action return for Lord and Miller. It's dazzling, but very human epic. The level of detail in every aspect of the production was awe-inspiring, not least the puppetry. I also had warm and fuzzy comparisons to 1970s monastic classics like Silent Running and Dark Star, which is high praise indeed. Drew Goddard delivers, the same guy who wrote the screenplay for The Martian, by the way. Drew Goddard delivers an excellent screenplay. Greg Fraser's work is gorgeous. Gosling is endlessly magnetic, and Sandra Hüller gets to show her Tony Erdmann chops again. I'm not quite sure what that one's a reference to. It made my head spin thinking about how complicated it would be to make, but saving the universe is no easy task. Go see it huge. One of the most foundational guys in the industry, Gregory Elwood, wrote, Ryan Gosling is utterly fantastic in Project Hail Mary. Movie also has some incredibly directed sequences that will make you gasp. It peaks emotionally a bit earlier than you'd expect and has an extra ending it might not need, but will be a lot of viewers' favorite movie for years. By the way, I made a bet with you about something that I think they're going to do at the end of the movie. I'm thinking it's sounding like they do it. But anyway, we'll go on here. Eric Marchin wrote, Project Hail Mary, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, must-see space odyssey blasts off as the first great blockbuster of 2026. Out-of-this-world cinematography from Greg Fraser reaches for the stars while anchored by a stellar Ryan Gosling performance. This movie rocks. The guy who financed the movie, Jeff Bezos, who, wow, what is he going to say about his own movie? Well,
this is cooler than my rocket ships.
This is better than my flying penis. Project Hail Mary is outstanding. Good to know, Jeff. Thanks for the input. Our friend Scott Vance.
Just move on.
It's incredible. It's incredible. By the way, Scott didn't like Superman, so I was curious. I was curious to know what he would think about this. But Scott writes, absolutely loved Project Hail Mary, an awe-inspiring and sublimely beautiful masterpiece. Everything we go to the movies for, loaded with heart, humor, excitement, and a deeply moving story. Brilliantly directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. Magnificent performances by Ryan Gosling. And we could read Brandon Davis, Project Hail Mary is the best movie I've seen this year, masterpiece. We could go on. It just goes on. The worst review, I'm not kidding. Out of all the things I went to and look at, the worst review I read was, it doesn't quite live up to all the potential of the book, and it's got too many endings, but that doesn't take away that this movie is absolutely delightful.
And they say the same thing about Return of the King.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the worst thing that I read. Absolute worst.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who know the book, I'm going to speak in code here, so only those of you who read the book, who've read the book, will understand what I'm saying. After I finally read the book, I think I was driving cross country when I listened to the book, and I called Rob, and I said, okay, the ending, I think they're going to change the ending in the movie, and I think they're going to do this with the ending. And everything I'm reading, it sounds like that's what they did, and it makes me giddy thinking about it. But aside from that, Rob, from the moment they showed this presentation at CinemaCon a year ago, you were the first guy to say, this is going to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
Yep.
We're a year closer now. We're just 2 weeks away from seeing this thing in theaters. How are you feeling listening to all these reviews, and what are the things that are kind of some of the common threads throughout them that are standing out to you and really jumping out to you right now?
Well, I've said this a million times. When I got this book and I cracked it open, I'll never forget. I got the box from Amazon. I opened it up, and I'm sitting at I sit at the corner of our little island in our kitchen, and I have coffee or whatever. I'm sitting in my little perch, and I just, like I do with a lot of books, I just opened up the first page and started reading. I did not get up until I was done with that book. People were buzzing around. Elizabeth would come in and go, don't you want to go sit on the couch or something? And I'm like, no, because the light in the kitchen's good anyway, so I can read. I read this book in one sitting, John, and it is seldom that a story, I've read 1,000 science fiction novels in my day. And a lot of science fiction writers would say, oh, this is such populist sci-fi. And I'm like, I don't care. It's the way, I read Dahlgren, and I read A Mote in God's Eye. I read some rough going big science fiction novels. But this book, the story itself is so captivating. And when you're listening to it, you heard, it was so captivating to me, and the possibilities of it. It's apocalyptic, but human. It's funny, but you're on the edge of your seat because anything could go wrong. This is a lightning in a bottle story. Now, once you begin with that, how do you turn that into a movie? A lot of movies have been messed up.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that they had Drew Goddard come and write the script, who also wrote the script for The Martian, another movie I absolutely adore, based on Andy Weir's first novel. And then Lord and Miller had something to prove. And I think that they went after this book, and they got this. It was a mission for them. It was their road to Damascus. And Ryan Gosling, as I told you, I talked to his stylist Mark before he left, interviewed him you can see it on this channel. And even he was excited. But I told him, I said, I don't think you're as excited as you're going to be. because this story, it's just, and when you have the people that understand it, and when we were at CinemaCon, because that's all I was like, I hope they show Project Hail Mary. And that was the first thing that was at they didn't even say anything at the Amazon MGM presentation. The lights just came down and they showed us like 8 minutes of this. And I was practically weeping with joy. I'm like, man, they stuck this landing. They nailed this. And if you're a fan of science fiction, fantasy, if you're an imagination connoisseur, this is the stuff. This is why I love Star Trek. This is why I love For All Mankind. This is why I love 2001. This is going to be, in 100 years from now, when people are looking at the stone classics of science fiction cinema, this is going to be in the top 5 of all time.
I'm thinking too, we kind of made a little bit of a reference to this. I don't know if it'll be on the same scale. Rocky is going to be the new Baby Yoda. Like and that's what I was kind of curious to hear from a lot of people about. How does Rocky come across? Because in the book, like my wife, when listening, because my second time through the book and listened to it for the first time, like almost everything that had to do with Rocky, she was either in tears from laughing or in tears emotionally, like through the whole thing. Like everybody loves Rocky. Fist my bump. Like he's just the best. He's the best. And I think depending on how it executes, or I've been curious to see how it executes, that, people are going to absolutely love Rocky. And it sounds like it works. So I think he's going to, look, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I'll reserve judgment, but I kind of think he's going to be the next Baby Yoda. I think everybody's going to be getting their Rocky plush toys, their Rocky, 7-inch figures or 1/6 figures, whatever. I think he's going to be a really, really huge thing.
Plus, what's really great about, what I really love about in the book, he's a very alien creature. He's not like a humanoid, obviously.
Which is big ears.
Yeah.
He's very alien.
He's very alien, but he's intelligent. He's a scientist. He's an engineer. And to see such an alien creature portrayed in this way, I think is a great thing to see, and it's not easy to do. And it sounds like they've really nailed it. And I love that they made the choice to do it practically instead of doing a CG creation, because no matter how good CG is,
it still looks incredible. The movements it's making in practical is crazy.
By the way, I have no doubt, like knowing the book, there are going to be some sequences. Like, yeah, they had a Yoda puppet, but they had to do CGI Yoda. There's definitely going to be scenes where they have to CGI Rocky. Like 100% there's going to have to be.
Probably.
And that's fine, as long as it works. I think it's going to be great. I cannot express how excited. I can't remember. It's been a bit since I've been this, like, I'm probably Superman, that I've been this really stoked about getting to the theater to watch a movie. And I think I may be even more excited to watch this than I was for Superman. I think I am. That's how stoked I am for this. And we still got 2 weeks to go.
I just can't. I was just thinking while you guys were speaking, it's like this year for me, we're getting 4 incredible movies, probably Odyssey, this, Doomsday, and Doom 3. Below that would probably be Supergirl and Spider-Man, but it's like those 4 alone to sustain my excitement through the year.
This is going to be really, look, all due respect to everything that's come out already, and I'm going to go see Scream tomorrow night, and I'm curious about watching Scream, and all due respect to everything else, but for me, 2026 starts on March 13th. That's when 2026, the movie year, starts for me, is March 16th when this comes. Because, like, as Jonathan's alluded to, this is as we've talked about a lot, this is a packed year, man. Yeah. I can't remember the last time we had this many high profile, big films that I'm super excited about, almost all of them coming out. And it all kicks off with Project Hail Mary. Guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? The first reviews for Project Hail Mary have come out, and they're all just they're not just glowing. They're all using the term masterpiece. They're all saying, like, this is the first big Best Picture contender for the year. On and on and on. I cannot wait to watch this thing. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.